and other union members have been in quite high spirits here and making their voices heard. Now, at the gist of their basic concerns and what they are complaining about is that there seems to be some double standards, because they say that those who had been re-employed at SAA had accepted voluntary services packages, and that effectively this smacks of corruptions, because they opted to exit from the airline but are still now being considered to be brought back in, whereas ordinary workers are being left out in the cold. But let's get more from Zazi Nsibanyoni-Mugambi, who is the president of SACCA. Thank you very much for speaking to us at Newzroom Afrika. It seems like it's a very complicated process that you guys are fighting. Can you lay out the lay of the land for us?
Yes, I mean, you would remember, for initially, when we came out of the Labour Forum, about 1,000 employees had to be taken onto a training layoff scheme, and this training layoff scheme was put in place in order for 1,000 employees to be trained, developed, and eventually be absorbed back into SAA. What has happened is that number shrunk to about 300, drastic reduction. And those 300 employees, since the inception of the training layoff scheme, have never been trained. The commitment that was made to them in order to develop and train them has not happened. Just yesterday, SAA has sent them an SMS informing them that come end of March, they are no longer employed and they are retrenched. And our dissatisfaction is, what is the DPE doing? And we are here because they need to intervene. These people opted not to take voluntary severance packages and instead to stick by SAA. And for them just to be allowed to face the sea of unemployment is unacceptable. And we're here today and we asked the DG today that he needs to intervene to make sure that these people, as SAA continues to grow and get more roots, they can be absorbed. And on top of that, what SAA has done, in our view, very corrupt, is allowed people to have taken voluntary severance packages. Straight after that, hire them back, and not looking at this pool, and many of which are very, very skilled, to be reabsorbed back. And in our view, they're hiring cronies and people that they are lying to and putting them in positions. So we have a pool that is quite capable of being reabsorbed. Right. So we are here for the DPE to intervene.
So are you saying these processes of rehiring and reabsorbing skills are flawed and they're not transparent?
Absolutely. And we've asked for an investigation into this at the CCMA. And what they told us is that, they're happy to do the investigation. However, the report they don't want shared, so they want to keep it secret so that we are not able to litigate or take it on further. For us, that's a company or SAA that wants to hide certain practices. So for us, there's a serious problem in terms of how the placements were done. And we are saying these TLS members have been sidelined to make space for individuals that they're aligned to.
Right. Now, what do you understand is the situation at SAA, since you still have members there, and what are the other attempts that you have made to reach out to SAA management?
Oh no, I mean, right now as it stands, ever since the SAA CEO has come to SAA stating Team SAA has refused to meet with unions. So that's the kind of troubles and that we're getting from SAA. And on top of that, the people that are hired are facing very unfair working conditions. They are going without medical aid, housing. They can hardly afford to come to work, put petrol in their cars, because their salaries have been reduced by 35%. While the management at SAA have claimed to have benchmarked themselves and have given themselves increases. For us, that is blatantly unfair. And that's what we're asking for the DPE to intervene. It cannot be correct. And those increases in salaries could have funded the training layoff to be able to sustain them and eventually be reabsorbed into SAA.
Right. And looking at the problems at SAA, are you aware that of the new takeover of SAA being finalized by Staccato Consortium? What's your thoughts about that?
That is the biggest frustration for us. The Staccato deal, from inception, we have said has not been transparent. We don't know what the terms are. In our view, Staccato has been handed, a free airline, and right now we're sitting with a deal that has not been finalized, a due diligence that has taken over a year, unheard of, and we have uncertainty. So we don't know what's happening in terms of the Staccato deal. DPE has failed to be transparent in that regard. And it would have been at least refreshing to know we'll have a new management team, but as it stands, we're not sure. We're in the dark.
So essentially you're here to ask government to intervene, even though you raise all these concerns. And do you think that government can actually do much in terms of saving these jobs?
Yeah, I mean, look, you can't sit back and plead the fact that you can't intervene in operational issues, because they are the very same people that deployed these executives into SAA. So, and they're the same people that can recall them and put people that are capable. So the DPE has promised us that between 7 to 10 working days, they will respond to us and give us feedback as to what they're going to do. And we're hoping for once, that they speak to us. We are happy to engage. We're happy to collaborate and find solutions together. Because these people here love SAA, but they're not going to be treated like slaves at the expense of their families to satisfy, what SAA wants.
If your demands are met within the 10 days or there's not a satisfactory comeback, then what's the way forward?
Oh, there's so many things that they're up in the air. I mean, right now we're facing training layoff, which have said it's going to be terminated. So we're seeking legal opinion in terms of what we're going to do about that, because we believe they have not met the terms of the training layoff scheme. Secondly, we are not shy to come back here and ask for the answers that we are promised by the DPE. But we're hoping that doesn't happen. We're hoping they come back and be honest in terms of the feedback they gave us today, and actually find us and let's find answers to these particular issues. I mean, the DG sat here today and he said he wants to create employment. He wants an environment where we can solve these problems. So if he spoke the truth, that should be easy to do.
All right. Thank you very much for that. We appreciate your time. That was Zazi and Nsibanyoni-Mugambi, the president of SACCA. They're just outlining some of the very myriad of complex issues that have brought them here, and basically calling on government to intervene and saying that they're looking and hoping for a solution that would, at the end of it, save jobs, which is at the heart of what their picket and what their protest action is all about.